Welcome back, you're watching Morning Live. Time now to turn our attention to the world of the arts. Sasol has for a number of years given emerging artists the opportunity to showcase their sculptures through its new signature art competition. Their work can be showcased on a national stage where it can be celebrated by artists, art critics and lovers. The entries for the competition closed just a couple of days ago, and to speak to us a little bit more about this very important sculpture competition is Cecile Loedolf from Sasol. A very good morning and welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you.
This year's theme, Eye for Potential. Can you explain it for us?
Yes, it is for emerging artists. It's artists that actually never had a solo exhibition before. So you can be 70 if you never had a solo exhibition to enter this competition. And that makes it actually different from all the others, because most of them's got actually an age limit to that. But for us, it's to give that platform for emerging artists, give them that opportunity to showcase their work and actually to compete with other people and to see where they are.
Is the competition only for sculptors?
No. It's for paintings, for all different mediums, all over. You can enter actually any medium, and that is a fantastic part of it, and not everybody knows it, but you know what? If it wasn't for Sasol, nobody would be able to make art, because paint, charcoal, all your chemicals to clean your brushes are all the things that are actually byproducts of Sasol. And that fits their brand actually fantastically to do a competition like this.
Now, I know the entries closed just a couple of days ago. Do you know the number of people that have actually entered this year?
I'm not that familiar, but what I can tell you is that in Cape Town we received more than any of the years before. The same in Joburg, over 100. They had to enter at the Heide Erdmann Gallery. They had to actually extend their opening night for an exhibition that was coming up because there were just too many art pieces that came in. Now, isn't that fantastic? Yeah, artists that were really inspired to enter, and they just couldn't have that opening night because there were just too many art pieces, and the judging is taking place this week.
My goodness. And tell us a little bit about the judging process.
Well, you see, they enter all over the country, and then the judges choose the work in every region. We've got a national chairperson, Peter Bernsbergen, that travel countrywide, and there's then other judges with him at each and every collection point, and they then judge the art pieces, and those art pieces that's been accepted come through to Pretoria, and the overall judging will take place then on the 12th of August, where we will then choose the winners and the runner-up and the Merit Award winners, and that will be announced then at the end of August, beginning September, because the public can come and view this show in September at the Pretoria Art Museum.
It's quite a long process, and it seems to be quite a thorough one, where you guys are going across the country and really taking a look at the different art pieces. So is there awards in the different categories? So for something that's a paint artwork as opposed to something that's a sculpture?
No, there's not per se a piece for a sculpture piece or for a painting or etc. No, they try to choose the work that was for them the best. Last year it was a sculpture that won, but it doesn't mean that it's going to happen this year again. It really depends on the work that stands out the best for us. That's the overall winner.
I mean, are there any restrictions? Are there any criteria that artists need to fit in order to kind of be an award winner?
You know what? The interesting thing, there's not really a criteria. There's certain criteria about size, but the fantastic thing about the Sasol New Signatures is that you can enter a video work, you can do a collaboration piece. There's really a lot of things that they apply that you can do in this competition that you can't do with all the others. You can enter a drawing, you can enter a video piece, you can enter any media. for that matter, as long as it fits into the size and the weight. And but when you're a judge, and when you work in the art world, you will always find that there's one piece that really talks to you. Doesn't matter what media is that. And I think when you do walk around, you see all these magnificent pieces. That it's quite a debating issue, because we are different judges doing that. And when you walk through, you will immediately feel this work is not strong enough. It doesn't stand out as much as the other piece. And you will reject that as part of not a winning piece. It has already been chosen as one of the best 100, but it doesn't mean that it will be the overall winner. And yes, they do. We don't always agree on this, but there's a voting system that we go through, and then it works according to points, and then that piece wins that's got the most points.
The judges, how many judges are there that will be deciding on the winner?
Well, we've got our national chairperson, that's one of them, and another 4 judges. And yes, and they come from all over. It's not that it's only judges from Joburg or Pretoria. We do have an artist from Cape Town coming up, Bernie Searle, for instance. She will be one of the judges from Cape Town. And yes, and some of us are here in Joburg and Pretoria area.
Some of the previous winners of this particular award, the New Signatures Award, what has come of their careers since being award winners?
Well, they've become very well-known artists. Marco Cianfanelli, for instance, was one of the winners, and he's today an artist whose work you find in many corporate collections outside, all over.
He did the Mandela...
Exactly.
I call them the Mandela sticks. I know it's got another name, but there's a beautiful sculpture which is at the capture site just outside of Howick.
Exactly, yeah, and he does with laser cut work, and you can see different shadows, how it casts the different shadows. Yes, there's many of them that came through the Sasol New Signatures. It's very difficult just to mention all of them, but there's many of them. But it was one name that just came up that I know that many people will know, because Marco is a really established artist, and he came through that. You know, it's also very inspiring for young people, because when they enter a competition like this, they are really emerging artists. They're not people that know what it is to enter a competition like this. But when they've come through that platform, they move on to another one, and they feel inspired. And that's what we want. We want to give them that platform. And I think that's very important that companies do that, because it's not many companies that really invest in art. And that's one of the things that falls flat when the economy is bad, because they do have to cut somewhere, and then they think, you know what, why? We must just cut the arts. But when a company still carries on with that, it tells you it's a company with a soul. It's not just a hard clinical company that looks after their own interest.
Lovely stuff. Thank you very much. That's Cecile Loedolf speaking to us about the New Signatures art competition. The entries close now. The judges have that unenviable task of having to sort through all of the wonderful entries from across the country and select just a couple who will then go on to exhibit in Pretoria, and then of course the winner coming from there. Thank you very much for your time and chatting to us here on Morning Live.
Now, I must say thank you so much for having us here.
We saw a couple of the artworks on screen a little earlier on, really magnificent.